There we go. Thank you all for jumping on. My name is Brian Robert, and I am one of the two master distributors, along with Faraj Patil of IX Global. And uh, I've been in the business of trading and MLM for, I guess it's going on almost a decade. And I am one of those people that if you want to blow your account, let me know, give me access to it, because that's what I will do. I'm not good at trading. Even though I make a lot of money with it, and I've made money, I've done it through other experts and everything else. It was always just very intimidating for me to, once you've blown a few accounts on your own, not doing things the right way, to kind of trust yourself to kind of be on your own and trade. And I know a lot of people that are really experts at it, that I met over the years. But we were really fortunate to get partnered up with Driven. And what I saw from them was something I'd never seen before in all the other companies that do this type of thing, where it was, real traders, with licenses and everything else. And they trade with legitimate brokerage, institutions and things like that, just to kind of the next level. And talking to Cory and seeing what we have here in terms of how to learn and everything else. He's like, no, you can learn how to do it. There's just a way to learn. And so it's been very exciting getting to know him. He's actually out here right now. We're recording stuff today here in Utah. And so we got to spend time yesterday. But the things that they're doing, I've never seen before. And like I said, this 10 years doing this. I know, I've seen the players, the companies, everything else. I've never seen anything like what they're doing. And what really got me excited is OPM, other people's money. And he's going to talk about that, how to get funded accounts and how that works. And I've never seen where you can actually do that, and the company is not, taking 50% of it or something like that. And so everything is just phenomenal. We're really leading with this within our businesses. We're starting to lead with this because it's so powerful what they're doing. And so, really appreciate that we have Cory on with us today, and I'll be quiet and let him take it away. Thank y'all.
Awesome, Brian. Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Internet's a little spotty, so if there's ever a time where you guys can't hear me, maybe if you could just throw it in the chat box, or Brian, if you can pop on and just let me know, that would be great. But I am really excited to be here with you guys. Good to see some familiar faces. Had a real pleasure of getting to know a lot of you out in the Dominican Republic. How about that trip in Dominican Republic, huh? I would talk about a world-class event. Who is all out there? I know I see a lot of familiar names. So, I just want to say, it was really an honor to get to know you guys out there and really connect and see how awesome this community is. I'm really blessed to be a part of it. Brian, is very humble and says, how excited he is and how blessed they are to have me here. I'm blessed to have you guys. We've been looking for a solid community structure and, initiate this launch with. We were ultimately in our lane doing our thing. I saw a gap in the financial sector. I'm an institutional trader. I've been trading private equity in the top 1% of profitable portfolios at one of the largest brokers in the world for years. I got into private equity management in 2016. I've been a professional trader since, started in the industry in 2012. So I go way back. Just over a decade now of trading education. Started off in the penny stock options and moved into stocks and Forex. And once I saw the validity in the industry, it was where I really sunk my teeth into and decided to make my career as a trader. In 2016, I got into the private equity management space as a S&P 500 futures trader. For 4 consecutive years, I held a top 1% of profitable portfolios at TD Ameritrade. And, we did some really cool things. But, I took a skill that was designed to create freedom for my life, and I turned it into a very miserable situation, managing big clients, some Formula One racing teams. I had, some of the largest ginseng farmers and, potato farmers. I was managing all their funds from the Midwest. And, I was super depressed, 2019, coming into the beginning of 2019, I was, 45 pounds heavier than I am today. I was, from the outside looking in, you would think that I had life figured out, right? Ferrari in the garage, multi-million-dollar home, backyard looked like a country club, $750,000 landscaping. But I was depressed. I was empty on the inside. My whole life was revolved around making rich people richer. And I got rich doing it. I made a lot of money, but that was it, right? There was no purpose. There was no fulfillment. For 5 consecutive years, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, I lived my life behind my computer screen, making rich people richer. And, TD Ameritrade approached me at the beginning of 2019 and asked me if I would consider developing the very first S&P 500 futures curriculum for their brokerage. I was excited about it. I was excited to get back in the people business. I am a networker at heart. My whole entrepreneurial journey started in network marketing in 2008, made my first couple $1 million in the network marketing industry. So, was really excited about the people business and working with people, becoming an educator, and really having a little bit more purpose in my life. And, I worked on a program with them for 6 months. Out of, at the time, they had about 900,000 active people in their brokerage. About 80 to 90,000 of those people traded the S&P 500 E-mini futures market, which is the largest market during the New York Stock Exchange. It's the largest liquid market, S&P 500. Out of those 90,000 that traded the S&P 500 futures, only 15,000 of those accounts. So you're talking from 900,000 active accounts to 90,000 down to 15,000. Only 15,000 showed a monthly profit consistently. My portfolio was in the top 1% of that 15,000 for 4 consecutive years. When they approached me, it was the first retail private equity manager that they were coming to asking to develop education curriculum. It was a 50-50 split. It was going to be amazing. I put a whole bunch of my own money into the program. We were getting ready to launch it in 2019 in October. And they wanted to charge $25,000 for people to enter the program and put them on a 12-month, $3,000 a month contract before they even put money in their brokerage accounts. And there was just something about that didn't sit right with me. I believe that this is a skill that everybody should have accessibility to. This is a skill that everybody has the ability to learn. It's not as complicated as, a lot of these network marketing companies make it. The problem with the industry is you have a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. Try to sound smarter than you, and they do sound smarter than you because you don't know what you're doing, but you go buy into their vision, you buy into their plan or their course, and ultimately those people don't even manage money or even make their living off trading. And it's what's screwed up the industry. It's what's given people a bad taste in the industry. But you're talking about the highest paid profession in the world. It is a very valid industry, and it is not hard to learn. The hardest parts about it is really just the patience and the mental toughness. But the skill itself is easy, but you don't learn it in 2 weeks. You don't learn it in 30 days, 90 days, 60 to 90 days, sometimes maybe 4 to 6 months. But, to take a little bit of time out of your schedule to learn a skill that can pay you for the rest of your life and actually be able to generate wealth and never have to be reliant on a person for a paycheck again, why not give it 90 days, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? And what happened over the last several years since I started trading the industry is the field has been leveled, right? A lot of people would look at the skill and say, well, what's the point of me coming in and learning the skill? I don't even have money to start a brokerage account with. Well, with prop firms and funding partners and the ability to, prove that you can trade. And if you can do that, there is so much money that's readily available for people just like you and me to come in and trade and keep a massive majority of the profits as long as those firms are set up properly, and they're not set up to keep the money, but they're set up to pay the money, which is what we're doing here with IX Global. And I'll be talking about that in a minute. But, when we come into the tail end of that story, I was excited about getting into the education space. I didn't agree with the pricing. We butted heads on it a lot. I ended up walking away from the deal. I wasn't interested in making more money. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to bring Wall Street to Main Street, like other traders out there talk about. I really believed that I could validly do it. And I wanted to be able to go to any country around the world and give somebody the same opportunity and not price people out of the skill. Why is this a skill that should only be catered for the rich people? I don't get that. I'm not somebody who was born into money. I'm a 16-year-old high school dropout. I don't have a college degree. I don't even have a high school diploma. I've made millions of dollars trading. So why can't I go to anyone in the world and also give them that same opportunity? I can, but I can if I don't price them out of the equation. And, after butting head them for a while, I walked away from the deal right before Christmas in 2019. And in 2020, I actually got a call from a good friend of mine from the industry who was working with a company overseas, and they were trying to bring trading education to the United States. Ended up partnering up with that company. It was a company called Melius at the time. My team led the entire rebrand from Melius to B. We brought B into the United States, put 17,000 distributors into that company in 9 months, did about $27 million in sales. And we were pioneering the trading movement, and we were doing it the right way. And once they, started fabricating their trade data and doing things that, were ultimately unintegrable, I had to choose my character over the paycheck, and ended up walking away from, multiple six-figure monthly income, and I decided to go out and do it myself. One of the things that I see in the industry of direct sales network marketing is a lot of people have a great vision of what they want to accomplish. But unfortunately, the majority of these trading companies that are starting from people who have no trading experience. Another thing that people don't understand is that this isn't just like stocking product in your shelf, right? You're not buying juice or coffee or energy drinks. This is people's financial well-being. And if they believe the things that you're telling them, they ultimately put their money up. I saw people that were mortgaging their houses to get money from their houses because they believed that if they took those signals, they would win. And ultimately, the signals were losing a lot. I wasn't in control of the trading operation, was supposed to be in control of it. And once I found out what they were actually doing and how they were manipulating the results to make it look like they were doing better than they were, I had to walk away. And instead of giving up, I had a big army of people that were very excited about actually learning the skill. Coming into the beginning of, or the tail end of 2021 into 2022, we decided to package it all up and do it ourselves. Instead of putting 172 educators on payroll and trying to, monitor the information that's going out into the field or into the customer base, it's impossible, like some of these other companies have done. One of the things that we did and separated ourselves as is a company that would run their team like a Wall Street hedge fund. We picked the top traders that we could find from each different asset class. Some of my friends, from CME floor, Wall Street, and then, a lot of our students that have come up and have really built themselves into something special. But who was the top NASDAQ trader we could find? Who was the top Forex trader we could find? Who's the top binary options trader we can find? Who's the top futures trader? Who's the top options trader? Who's the top stock trader? And ultimately what we did is we built our curriculum off each individual within their niche. They're an expert. They've made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars trading that specific market. And I brought that team together and I said, guys, there is a big hole in the education space in network marketing direct sales. If you look at every industry in network marketing, direct sales, the juice craze, right? Juice companies exploding, becoming billion-dollar companies, energy drink companies becoming billion-dollar companies, shake companies becoming billion-dollar companies, legal services, billion-dollar companies, insurance companies, billion-dollar companies. But there has not been a billion-dollar yearly company in the trading space. And it should be the industry that thrives more than any of the industries because you're selling people money. But the problem is that everybody is selling the idea of making money in the financial markets and nobody actually knew how to do it, or they didn't care about delivering proper information. Because if I deliver and teach you everything that I know, you don't need me anymore, is their philosophy. My philosophy is if I teach you everything I know, it's a lot more fun to trade with a group of people and have a second set of eyeballs on the market than it is to trade by yourself. Trading is a boring industry, extremely profitable, but very boring. My philosophy was, if you're not comfortable with teaching every single secret, every single trick, every single thing about your strategy, then you are not a part of this trade team. So right away, we established those parameters. Our traders have to maintain a 65% win rate, month over month, averaged out every 90 days on contract. If they lose 3 trades in a row, they have to get permission from me directly before they execute the 4th trade. And it's to give them a checkup from the neck up. It's to make sure they're not on a, emotional implosion versus just a market correction. So it's not about turning good traders into bad traders. It's about controlling the information that's going out into the marketplace of consumers. And that's how we become so successful. This past year, April 2022, we launched Driven Trading with that focus. If I had $1 billion hedge fund on Wall Street and we were the team of people that were managing that fund, we would all be working together, not competing against each other. We would be working together to grow that portfolio. That's how we're going to deliver our education to the world. We are all going to work together. No egos involved in this circle. I expect every single one of you to reach out to each other if you need help. You're all experts in this industry. And if you work together, all of us working together, bouncing ideas off each other about what the market's doing this week or next week, we are going to have a lot more strength as a unified trade team versus a divided trade team, which is what I've seen throughout the industry. And that's how we launched. Last year, we had a really good run. We put over 6,000 people in the community, and we focused on delivering a quality product. Our product was actually so good that people didn't need to build the company, and the company didn't really grow very much, right? Did about $4 million in sales, but it was because we were making people money with the product and they didn't need to go out and build. So they had choices. We got over 1,000 people funded through prop firms last year. In just 9 months, our first 9 months in business, we got over 1,000 people funded out of 6,000 people through our company. We had over 60% of the standing audience at every single event that we went to globally, all throughout the United States, all throughout the world. 60% of every single room in a standing audience was making money on live money, profitably trading. And I had never seen anything like that before. And so we really put the pedal down and said, it's time for us to expand into the international market. And we started doing that at the tail end of this past year. And I saw my buddy back in October, Travis Flaherty. He's a good friend of mine, been one of my best friends for over a decade. I saw him standing out in front of an oil mine and with a hard hat on, and he's talking about crypto mining. I've been in crypto mining deals. I've lost hundreds of thousands. I've, tried all of them. I've won some, I've lost it a lot. I lost it more than I've won. And I'm like, Travis is in another mining deal. What the heck is going on, right? And I looked at the product, and he was talking about commodity-backed crypto. And I'm telling you guys this story because I want you to know how I got here and what we're about to do next. I think you guys are going to be really excited about. I reached out to Travis, and once I found out, to make a long story short, that the product was real, that it was valid, what it was, I flew out to Utah. I sat down with Joe. I sat down with Brian. I met with the owners of DebtBox, and I saw that the substance behind this operation was world-class. And the vision and the alignment that I had with Joe was really, it was scary how much in alignment we are about, how we feel about people and what our intentions in this world were and how we wanted to change people's lives. And the conversation started off with me just trying to get nodes for Driven and offer it as a stored value product with potential upside for my community. And that ended up, as we went through, conversation after conversation, Joe was in a position where they were looking to enhance the quality of their trading curriculum. And it just worked out beautifully, guys. And that's how Driven ended up here at IX and, full JV and merge. And, we're ready to do some really exceptional things, a lot more things than what we could have accomplished on our own. We will now accomplish because of IX Global. This year, it's been, I think, about 2 months now since we came over. Already, some of the things that we are doing as far as our curriculum goes, I want you guys to think about this. For example, number one, just going through our existing academy right now, the core, the foundation, the mastery class, going in through the Futures Academy, coming into our trade rooms. By the way, we are the only company out there that I have ever seen where we trade our live accounts in front of the audience. You see the wins, you see the losses, but you see the realness. We trade our live money. We don't trade demo accounts. I TD Ameritrade live brokerage 3 days a week, 10 hours a week live. I just did this morning, did $23,000 in profit in 2 hours live. You can't fake that. The reason I asked our trade team to be that transparent is because there is way too much disinformation or misinformation. People are misinformed about what this industry can actually do for them. So we show them what it can do in real time. You get to look over our shoulder as we show you how to apply everything that you're learning in our academy to the markets in real time. And not only do we do that, but we had created a Signal app where our application was developed by a team of programmers from JP Morgan. Now Bob, the CTO of IX Global, and his tech team are taking over the further development of the app. But we have our win and loss percentages calculated consistently. You can see the performance of each trader. You can know which trader to follow. Everything is pulled right from their data where it can't be manipulated. It can't be, cheated. It is as transparent as it gets in the industry. And you'll see that we don't claim to have a 90% winning average. We average between, 60 and 70%. But you'll see 7,800 points won versus 400 points lost. So those losses are extremely small and those profits are extremely large. In our trading, in our curriculum, our average risk to rewards are 1 to 7, 1 to 12, 1 to 16. The trade we were in right now in our futures room, 1 to 34. That means for every 1% that you risk on your account, you would be looking to gain 34% on a single trade, a single position, because that's actually what exists in the marketplace. But the only people who know how to trade that way are the people who manage private equity and hedge funds. In order to be in a hedge fund, you have to be accredited investor. You have to have $1 million net worth or more. So what if we could take what's normally only available for accredited investors and make it available by teaching you how to do it yourself? You don't have to pay your money manager to control your money and probably lose money every year. If not, if they have a good year, they're doing 8%. We do 8% a week sometimes. But even if you could do 8% a month consistently, 10% a month consistently, 10% compounding at $1,000 over 6 years is $1 million. $1,000 compounded at 10% for 6 years is $1 million. So there's $1 million path right there. And that's how trading really was up until recently. This past year, something came out where these massive brokerage firms that were holding billions of dollars in liquidity, well, they don't need to put all of their liquidity into the market at one place at one time. And what they realized is they could actually leverage out that money to people who can prove themselves that are actually valid, real traders. So now imagine going through a curriculum for 90 days, mastering the art of trading, learning every single thing you need to know about it to know how to pass a test, how to manage private equity, how to manage OPM, how to consistently do 5, 8, 10% a month, nothing outrageous, just 5, 8, 10% a month. And then you hone in on that skill to where you are doing 20% a month at some point, maybe after a year. But let's just say it's 8 to 10% after your first 90 days to 120 days. And then we say, once you go through that program and go through that curriculum, we can actually get you funded $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 of money from a liquidity provider like 8Cap or CapRock, or there's tons of them, right? We have 2 liquidity providers right now, 8Cap and CapRock, that are committing $2.5 billion to this program, where you can now prove that you can trade successfully, go through a little bit of a phase and a test. There's a 2-phase test or a 1-phase. You can do either one. And instead of us who are setting up the prop firm, most companies, what they do is when they set up a white label from a prop firm is they pocket all of the money. So they'll pay you out 70% or maybe 50% or 60% of what you make, and they pocket the rest. We pay between 80 and 90%. We pay all the way up to 90% because we're not pocketing the money. Now, the broker obviously is leveraging out their liquidity to you, so they take that other 10%. Driven or IX Global is not taking any of the money. We decided to give it all the way back to you guys, to the community, because we don't need to make money off of that. We want you to make money off that. So let's just say in 90 days, we can walk you through a roadmap from never looking at a chart before in your life to trading successfully, doing 8 to 10% a month, and then we can get you funded a $300,000 account at the end of that 90 days. And by month 4, by your 120th day in, you could have just made $30,000 on that you've made on other people's money, and you get to keep 90% of it. And you just, you're making what, $25,000 a month. What if I told you we could get you funded for $500,000 after that? And if you show that you can manage that successfully for a few months, we can get you funded $1 million. And if you do 10% on $1 million, that's $100,000. That's $90,000 a month that you would be able to keep if you can sustain your risk, if you can sustain your, mental toughness and discipline. But the great thing that we do here at Driven is we help you sustain that. You don't have to go trade that money solo. We help you trade it. In fact, you can just come into our trade rooms multiple times per day, 6 days a week, and you can just take the same trades that we're taking, and you can grow that money and you can build wealth for your family. So imagine this year, over the next 90 days, you come through our curriculum, and you notice too, guys, I'm not saying that you're going to figure this out in 30 days like these other guys out there. It will take you 90 days to figure this out. If you've never looked at a chart before in your life to tell you that I could teach you the highest paid profession in the world in 90 days, would you be willing to sacrifice a few hours a week, 4, 5, 6 hours a week, 10 hours a week to learn the highest paid skill in the world from somebody who has made hundreds of millions of dollars out of the markets, hundreds of millions over the last several years I've pulled out of the markets, and I do it live, and you will be able to do it alongside of us live. And now as you get that money that you can manage that money with discipline and patience, and you realize you don't have to rush it. And you realize that all these cuckoo knuckleheads out there who are talking about doing 50% a month and all this stuff, you don't need to do that. You just have to be capitalized properly. If we can show you how to consistently knock down 8, 10, 12% a month, and you got $1 million, and you're making 90% of those profits every single month paid directly to your bank account, I think that we're going to have a lot of happy people in this community. And I'm excited to announce that it is actually going to be ready in about a week. So we've actually just went through all of our website is completely finished. I will walk you through it, but I didn't get the link right before the call, but we've actually just went through our, let me pull this up quick. We've actually just went through our first run of beta tests, and we've already gotten accounts kicking out. So everything is working perfectly. We have all of our text in there. Impact Trader, this will be the rollout phase. This today at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is ultimately right now, we have a big event going on for women traders. We have a lot of very successful women traders. In fact, it's being taught right now by a woman named Maria Maldonado. We call her Biche. She's amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, she came into my life back in February 2022, so about 1 year ago, with a newborn baby, 2 other children. And she didn't know how to trade. She had tried to learn how to trade from another company, never succeeded. Started off with $3,000, and she is a multiple 6-figure trader. She didn't even get funded through a prop firm. Multiple 6 figures that she has made this past year. Now, past performance doesn't guarantee or predict any future result, of course, but I'm talking about a woman who would be in my courses, in my classes, holding her baby, feeding her baby while learning, 0 excuses. And in fact, she got so good that we actually made her one of our educators in April. She runs education for our Spanish division of the company, and she's one of the top traders in the world right now. In 1 year, she was there probably within her 4th month in, because she was hungry and she was dedicated, disciplined. Now she's got multiple funded accounts. She's got her own account that's multiple 6 figures. I mean, she's making money you wouldn't even believe. She's going to be a millionaire, over just 1 year. And I want you guys to also think about the opportunity that you have with IX Global. We can get you in a path to where you can be making, $25,000, $50,000 a month, $80,000 a month over, let's just say that's a 6-month plan. By your 4th month in, you're making good money. By your 6th month in, you're making really good money. Then we teach you how to diversify that portfolio in a perfect wealth building plan that we build for you. It's ultimately what I'm out here in Utah doing right now. Mr. Travis Flaherty, myself, Brian Robert, and Joe we are actually formulating a wealth creation plan for our members in our community, where you be able to come into this community and have these different career paths of building generational wealth for your family. We have right now money, we have midterm money, and ultimately you're going to have a bunch of money to where you can take a big percentage of that money, whatever you don't need, instead of going and buying Lamborghinis right away and all these, Louis Vuitton purses right away, right? What you're going to do is we're going to show you how to store a portion of that money into your nodes and into the different cryptocurrencies that we offer through DebtBox and micro licenses. And we're going to show you how to start building a completely bulletproof from any economy, from any recession, from any dollar collapse, a bulletproof portfolio. And we believe that our system will be so dialed in that we'll be able to take somebody within 12 to 18 months and create a bulletproof shield around them. You will have the node of armor, as Travis would say. You'll have nodes producing massive potential upside for you and stored value of your money. You'll have a consistent cash flow coming in like crazy that you can cash out in cryptocurrency. If you want to get paid in Bitcoin, you can get paid in Bitcoin from the prop firms, right? Or you can get direct deposit right into your bank account. But our job and our goal at Driven and IX is to build this wealth creation plan for you guys, to take any person from any age, from any walk of life, from anywhere in the world, and within 90 days, completely shift their life. By that 4th month in, have them making more money than they've ever made before in their life. By month 6, producing enough passive income through their new attained skills to be able to now start investing in stored, valued, softwares and commodity-backed crypto operations and, different type of, other stuff that we're going to be doing too. I'm sure as you'll see, we have a lot of really good things, right? You want to learn, take classes on real estate. I'm sure we're going to have some of that stuff, coming down the pipeline this year, but we will have different pathways for you to take depending on where you are. But imagine within 1 year to be able to completely bulletproof yourself and be totally financially free, never dependent on anybody for a paycheck again. Right? You have a skill that's producing you nonstop cash flow. You have stored value, potential upside with your nodes. And not only that, you have a wonderful business opportunity to go share with other people to bring them on that journey to freedom with you. I've never seen anything like it. There's never in my professional business career, I've done a lot of cool things. I've consulted with multi-billionaires. I spent a lot of time with billionaires. I've never seen a business model so fine-tuned, and especially once we get this dialed in this week while I'm here, so fine-tuned as opportunity you guys have your hands on today. So I really appreciate, sharing with you guys. I appreciate Brian having me on. With Driven, we have a full-blown academy from the very basic level of understanding all the way to the highest level of understanding and how to start a hedge fund. We have a funding program that's going to roll out on the 25th of May. So what we're doing is now we have a 3-day boot camp that's going on for free. I encourage you guys to invite people to that. Right today is for women. Tomorrow is going to be for entrepreneurs. It's about how entrepreneurs can make additional income from the industry of trading. I'm going to be doing a live event tomorrow. And then on Saturday, it's going to be one geared towards athletes. And we're going to have some professional athletes on there with Noah DeFreitas, who's one of our senior level traders, Series 65, Series 99, Series 3, Series 31. We have security licenses. A lot of our traders, not all of them, but 3 of our top traders who ultimately run the whole trading operation at Driven. We all have securities licenses. We all do this at a professional level. We're even going for CFAs and CTAs next, which will be certified financial advisors and certified trading advisors. We will have the highest level of education that's ever existed in the world. Well, we already do, but we're just making it better. We don't stop. We're also hungry. We've been free for a long time, but we choose to, learn more, grow more, and help as many people along the way as we can. And so next week, we're doing the funded trader boot camp. So that'll be a 3-day event. And it's all about how to master prop firm tests, how to pass them, and then how to manage that money once you get it. That'll be a free 3-day event. Right after that event is over, we launch our funded trader bootcamp course. It's a full-blown academy on prop firm mastery put together by our entire trade team with special live sessions that we do every week just to help you manage that OPM. And then on that same day, which is May 25th, Impact Trader launches, and we'll be able to get all of you guys funded within a week of that day launching. So if you go through and you pass and, you go through your tests, you're going to get, so ultimately, Impact Trader 2 will stand alone as its existing prop firm, and to the marketplace will have extremely competitive prices. But for being a member of the Driven vertical and you're coming through that training, education and curriculum, you actually get a 25% discount on all of your testing fees. We already have the best prices in the industry. You get a 25% discount on that best price in the industry as well, just for being a member of Driven. But you have to be subscribed to the Driven pack in order to receive that. So anyways, guys, I really appreciate you letting me share with you today. Brian, if you have any other questions or anything else you want me to cover, more than happy to do so.
No, I appreciate it, Cory. The thought that I had, and I've been in network marketing for 30 years, and I've been one of the people that did well, right? I've made 8 figures. I've had a lot of success, and even in this, part of it. But, for me, being able, talking to you and understanding this gives me confidence, because when I think about it, like you said, and kind of that 3-pronged attack, being able to, I just think, gosh, what if I could create 15,000 extra a month? I mean, if you can't live on 15,000 and pay all your bills, probably you're doing something wrong, but imagine if it's 20, 30, 40, 50, just through trading. And then, we have the MLM side, where you're able to share it and make money. And then our long-term, with DebtBox and the nodes and everything else. So I just appreciate everything that y'all are doing. I'm going to be going through this. I think a lot of other people are. I would love to do a few more of these calls, with y'all, with you and everything as we get going. But if they want to get started, maybe just last thing, just to close it out, what do they need to do to be able to get started learning this and going through it today or as soon as possible?
Yeah, so everything is available in the back office. You can either get Driven as a $60 add-on to your current subscription, or you can just upgrade, which is the easiest way. You just upgrade to the premium pack. There's a lot of other goodies that Joe threw in that package as well. It's $175 a month. And I'm going to tell you right now, before coming in, you got to realize this curriculum that I started, this was going to be $25,000 and $3,000 a month. When we launched Driven last year, the same education that you guys are getting for $60 or $175 to have all the IX stuff as well, it was $2,000 and $200 a month last year for everything that you're getting for $60. You're getting everything. It's not you pay $60 or you pay the $175 per month, and then you got to pay more to unlock more information. Everything we ever create for the entire history of the company from an education standpoint is given to you guys, because we want to hit the masses. This is a skill that should be taught to the masses. It should have been from the very beginning. And we're going to be the ones to bring it to the world and introduce them to it. Brian, I like what you said there. I'm just going to actually comment on that. That's the beautiful thing about this opportunity is, let's say you make $2,500 a month through the comp plan. Let's say you make, $5,000 a month as a trader. And let's say your notes start kicking in and you start making a couple thousand a month from that. The thing that's great is you're going to have one that takes off and might outlead another, but they will all ultimately start catching up to each other until obviously nodes explode right 2 years down the road. It'll be interesting to see where those are at. But the great thing is that the simplicity of making $2,500 in each one of these verticals, I think, is effortless. I mean, I think that you're absolutely lazy if you can't go make $2,500 in this comp plan. I think you're absolutely lazy if you can't make $2,500 as a trader. And I think you're absolutely lazy if you can't make $2,500 through the nodes, but you have to have the money to buy the nodes in order to create that $2,500 in passive. So you use the first two as your first 2 pillars. You focus there. If you don't have money to buy nodes right away, you go down those first 2 lanes, you focus on them, you intently pursue them, and then you start taking some money out of those and putting it over here. And eventually they start running parallel. You'll create so much momentum from a monetary standpoint in your life, you won't be able to stop it.
And one question that came through, yes, this is being recorded. We're going to make sure the recording gets out to everyone. And so I would send it out. And my last thought that I want to say is, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. There's a lot of people that, a lot of companies and people get in hopes and dreams and everything else. This is a real plan, a real path to get funded accounts, use other people's money, and on top of that, make money. And if you want to change your life, it's right there for you. So we'll make sure we get this recording out to everyone. We'll also do some more of these. Thing I love about Cory is he'll, ask him anything, any question, type thing. And we can have some of those types of meetings too, where people just get on and ask and everything else. So I really appreciate your time. Cory, everyone else that's here, we'll make sure we get this recording out, and yeah, we'll all be on soon. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Brian, I'll see you soon. I'm going to head out to Joe's now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Great seeing everybody. Thank you for your time today.